So, good afternoon. Before we start our session, I want you to do a recap on what we have previously done in our previous session. And I volunteer to tell what we remember for remind us of what we have learned in our previous session. Any volunteer? Yes, anyone? Since we have started our training, I have said that these sessions are interconnected. For example, from the first start, we have started the first session on the setting long-term and short-term goals. After we have set your goals, that is the time we came to budget. Create your budget. After creating budget, we came to comparing saving area. After that, we learn on choose a saving method. Choose a saving. After choosing a saving method, you compare financing. Now, after comparing financing option, we borrow from income. We are now in this session, we're going to discuss on choose and selling product objective. Who can discuss objective? One volunteer. The first one. To learn about credit cards and determination. Another person. The second one.
To identify the responsibility associated with borrowing money.
To identify the responsibilities associated with borrowing money. Number 3. Amira.
To identify the factors to consider when selecting a lender.
To identify the factors to consider when selecting a lender. The fourth. What's the lender? To identify the different types of lenders. Number 5. Flora. This is the question. One is to accept the lender. In this session, we are going to look at some of the key terms related to borrowing money. We discuss what you can do. You can need to do when you borrow money and how you can do it. In this session, we are going to do how you can do this in a smart way. We will use credit and loan as a synonym. Therefore, I want us to do an activity. There is a bucket. In this bucket, there are papers containing words. Some papers contain words, and others contain its definition. We are going to learn about credit terms and definition. There are credit terms and definition in those papers. I want to call you to come and read one page
repayment. Early repayment.
These papers contain award and financial. Listen to the instruction. I want you to look for your partner. I know there is everybody has a paper. One paper contains a definition, the other one contains a word. You look for your partner. When you have a definition, a paper that is written a definition, you look for a word. When you have a paper that has been written a word, you look for the definition of that word. For example, when you have, for example, I have interest here. My paper is written interest. I look for a person who has the definition of the term interest. Interest is the amount of money the borrower pays to the lender in addition to the repaying the loan itself to be able to use the lender's money. I give you 3 minutes to look for your partner. You have understood the
Early repayment.
no, you look for, you don't look for, you just look for your partner. You have understood the instruction?
This has to be so that your partner
Yeah.
Early
Go
repayment.
around and look for your partner. Wake up. Look for your partner. What is the you look for your partner. Wake up.
Early repayment.
Don't just wait. You look for your partner. Look for your partner.
Repaying all part of your loan before the term of the agreement. Early repayment. Kali dia umur. Oh. Dan tu mau mengira, eh? No, yo. Oh, ya. No, apa di na? Shana mwenzangu tayari. Nimeona mwenzangu mimi.
Mwenzako hapa. You start with your partner.
Yes.
this one.
Who is your partner? Who is your partner? Anyone?
Mortgage.
Who is your partner? Mortgage? What?
Grace period.
Listen. Let us in one class. Listen. Laura, let us listen here. We are reading for us the definition. And what?
Grace period.
We are defining the term and the definition.
Grace period.
Grace period.
Is the period allowed between the receipt of loans in the first repayments by now paid letter?
Do you agree with them? Grace period. Period allowed between the recipient of a loan and the first repayment. Is that one correct? Thank you. Next. Reading.
Conceding a credit agreement without penalty, a cooling off period, protecting you against impulse buying.
Do you agree with me? Yes? Read loudly, please. Your colleagues are not hard on what you are reading. Reading.
Canceling a credit agreement without penalty, a cooling off period, protecting you against impulse buying.
Reading. Cancelling a credit agreement without penalty. A cooling off period protecting you against impulse buying. Do you agree with them? Yes. Next. Mortgage.
Letting a property to loan as a security to obtain credit from a
Read loudly, please.
Pledging a property to loan as a security to obtain credit from a financial institution in the event of repayment not being made, the creditor may repossess the property concerned and sell it in order to recover the sum originally lent plus charges. The owner does not lose ownership of a mortgage property as long as the owners.
Do you agree with them? Yes. Next group. Credit broker. Definition.
Professional choice by his branch, preferring them the most suitable and or cheapest land or from banks and other financial institutions.
Credit broker. Professional choice by his client, finding them the most suitable or cheapest loan from banks and other financial institutions. Do you agree with them?
Yes.
Next. Sharon.
Personal contribution.
Personal contribution.
The proportion for the funding of the project which you are possessed before growing addition funds from the credit institution through contribution will facilitate mainly of your liquid asset and savings.
Personal contribution. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Next.
The amount of
Principal.
principal, the amount of loan granted by the lender, net of interest.
Do you agree with them?
Yes.
Thank you. Next.
Character of collateral.
Collateral.
Person who will pay off you in the event of your failing to do so. This person may be asked to add his or her signature to the agreement with the lender. The guarantee may also be in the form of property.
Do we agree with the explanation? Next.
Penalty. Some say
Early repayment. Penalty. Penalty.
Some say borrower will have to pay to the lender if he or she fails to repay the loan. E.g., seizure of the property.
under the payment, repaying all or part of your loan before the term of the agreement.
Under repayment.
Under the payment, repaying all or part of your loan before the term of the agreement.
We are doing the explanation? Yes. Thank you. Let us give power to ourselves. We discuss why do we have to pay interest when we take a loan?
The person who has given you the loan is in business.
The person?
The person who has given you the loan is in business and you need to add loss of profit.
This is because the institution that gives you a loan depends on the interest that you pay to run the activity or to get the profit, to make the profit. The interest is what the credit institution asks for lending you money. That interest is what they get so that they lend you money. It is the price you pay for being able to use the money for a certain period of time. For that period that you are using that loan, you pay the interest. When you stress, a key term to consider when taking out a loan is the annual percentage rate, which shows the overall cost of credit as annual rate of charge. It considers the interest charge and any other cost involved in getting credit. When we start to save in our account or receive regular income, financial institutions dictate these balances and often begin to take us with other products, usually related to customers' loans. For example, right now, if you have a huge amount of money in your M-Pesa account or in your account, you see some messages from bank or from Safaricom. When you have money in M-Shwari, they tell you can save with money in your M-Shwari so that we give you loan or we increase you the M-Shwari, your M-Shwari limit. Or something like that. That's why people will send you some messages when you have some amount of money in your M-Pesa. Or a bank, for example, Equity Bank or any other financial institution. When you have a money in your account, they will send you, will prompt a message. Will come to your text message, will come to your phone, asking you to borrow a loan. When you have a certain amount of money, you can get this amount of loan. Apply for credit when you really need it. You apply for a loan or you apply for credit when you really need it. For example, when you want to achieve your goal, that is the only time you go and apply for a loan or for a credit. You don't go and ask for credit just without any knowledge or without having in mind what you are going to do with that money or that money that you are in there. Identify the responsibilities associated with borrowing money. I want you to be pairs. Pairs means you are going to be in two tools. This. Being tools, you are already being, and you have to discuss with me. Have you ever lent something to someone who failed to return it? Who failed to return it? You discuss that question with your partner. You discuss with your partner. Have you ever lent something to someone who failed to return it to you? Have you ever lent something something to someone who failed to return it. Yes? The question is, have you ever lent something to someone who failed to return it to you? To return it to you?
Have you lent money to someone who have never someone and failed to pay? Sort of person, yes.
Have you ever lent something to someone who failed to return it to you? Lend something to someone who failed to return it to you?
Unaangalia mtu ndio anaosoga tu.
Ndio Mungu moyo like money or anything else. Ndio.
Ndio ndio badala dingi kama anaosoga tu. Wale ndio ndio. Ndio mama kwa badala dingi ana anaosoga tu.
You are done? Listen. Madam? You are done? If you are done, listen to this question, okay? Have you ever lent something to someone who returned it to you damaged? Have you ever lent something to someone who returned it to you damaged? Have you ever lent something to someone who returned it to you damaged? Yes? Yes, who returned it to you damaged?
Ndio mndoro ala kira yagu ala asoga tu niki.
Kali na wewe.
Yes? something to someone who returned it to you damaged? Yes. How did you feel about it? What was your reaction? What was your reaction?
Go and purchase another one.
You want to purchase another one? Next. And volunteer share with us how you feel or how you feel about it or what was his or her reaction. Laura?
One day I give my friend.
Let us listen to Laura.
One day I give my friend 200 pills. When I asked them to bring my money, he slapped me. I feel bad.
Any other person? Any other person who wants to share with us his experience? Any other person who wants to share with us his experience? Any other volunteer? Any other volunteer? Who can share with us his experience? Like Flora has done it. No, Flora don't have done. You can share with us again. She has another one. Let us listen to it.
Yes, I did. I give my friend a car. I accessed her a car. When I told her to bring my car, she break that car. Then I feel bad.
Oh, you need
The first responsibility of us who contracts alone, or a borrower, or somebody who has borrowed something from you. The first responsibility is to return. If you borrow alone, it is a must that you repay. You will pay it back. And at the agreed time or period, the agreed time or period. If you borrow money to finance a project, it is important that you pay the loan on time, without your project succeed or not. Whether it succeeds or not, you will have to pay the loan. Unasemanga baada ya deni ulipa. Therefore, if you borrow a loan, it is a must that you pay that loan back, whether your project succeed or not, whether you get a profit or a loss. When borrowing money, what are your responsibilities? What are your responsibilities when you are borrowing money?
Make sure you account for it to pay back earlier.
Work hard. Having a plan before borrowing.
choosing lower interest companies.
We can agree interest now let us look at the consequences. What are the consequences of not paying your loan on time? When you are not paying your loan on time, what are the consequences? When you are not paying in time, there is penalties. Penalties or you will not penalties or they will not lend it to you again. What about if you have not worked hard for you to pay earlier? What are the consequences for that? Consequences for that? For not working hard. You pay back. When you not work hard, those guys will leave. You have a plan before borrowing. When you don't have a plan before borrowing, what will happen? When you have set your cost, for example, before borrowing. Right? This? Yeah, misuse of the law. What happens if you are not paid a big interest rate? What are the consequences for that? If you have not paid agreed interest rate, consequences for that? Yeah, may lead to fine. You need to pay more fine for loss of trust. People may not trust you when you have not paid the agreed interest rate. Then you have borrowed a loan. Yeah, you can be even put on CRE. Okay, you pay the loan back for interest. Someone read for us the definition of the term borrower. The borrower is the person who receives the money. What about the lender?
The person who makes the money available. Is the person who makes the money available.
The lender is the person who makes the money available. The borrower is responsible for repaying the loan, while the lender is responsible for receiving or contracting a loan have repaid the loan with interest. If you fail to repay the loan or you are late, you may face certain gain or consequences. Identify the different types of lenders. There are several sources of credit. Some are difficult to get a loan from, some are more expensive, while others require you to be in a group or in an institution or in an organization. Some lenders require you to have set up to you, for example, SACCOs. You don't wake up and go and borrow the money from, go and request a loan from SACCO. For example, translation SACCO. You should belong to a SACCO before you go and request a loan from a SACCO. You must stay with that institution. That is, after you have stayed with that institution, that is the time they will lend you a loan or they will lend you a credit. Who can you borrow from? You as a person now. Who can you borrow from? We have learned about sources of credit.
Digital wallet.
Digital wallet. Digital wallet. Who can you borrow money from? You can borrow money from? Usually that's usually microfinance institution. I want to have bank. No questions, please. You raise up your hand. When you want to answer a question, please raise up your hand. Yes, bro. Circles. Then that. Yes. Yes, friends or family members. Another person? You can borrow from association or from your employer. You can borrow money from your employer. Association or employer. Other source. From which source of credit would you like to those sources that are listed, which one do you want to will you want to secure a loan? Now I want you to do, you want to do a motion for sort of credit you would like to do a loan. I want us to do a voting on sources of credit. Which source of credit do you want to secure a loan? We are going to vote for example. If you want to vote, if you want to secure a loan from bank, from individual, you vote for two sources of credit. One person will vote for two sources of credit where you want to borrow a loan or borrow a credit. Let us do that. Starting from here. Go and vote. You just click next. For example, if it is a bank, I want to borrow a loan from bank and SACCO, for example. That is how we are going to do it. This one, you go and go. You are going to go. You vote for two sources of credit, eh? Factors to consider when choosing to provide a source of financial service. From voting, you can see the results are higher bank, equals, and SACCO. These are the three sources of credit that has higher voting. Those are the three. Which factors to consider when choosing a source of financial service? What are the factors that contribute you to choose bank or digital wallet or SAC? Interest rate. Which are these financial factors that you consider when you source of credit? Trust, security, one is security, this one, safety. Safety is another one. Another financial factor, trust, accessibility, distance from home, yes, cost. Amount to borrow. Penalties. Another one. Grace period. Or repayment. Another financial factor.
On my side, I choose the employer as the source of credit. The reason being, when I borrow my employer the loan will guarantee the work to me. So it will keep me working.
Another person. What about annual percentage rate? These are financial. What about the non-financial? Those are financial factors. What about the non-financial factors? Yeah, that is conformity with religious values. For example, Muslim. One is religious value. We have said in non-financial factors Indians, for example, Muslim, they don't take a loan as interest. Another financial provision of rent. Now, as we have done on the sources of credit, we have voted on the sources of credit. I want you to vote now on the characteristics, that is financial characteristics, after considering choosing lending. Every person go and vote for that person. You vote for the three most important factors. When choosing a solo, three important factors. Everybody go and vote as we have done for sources of credit. For this one, we choose three, not two like the source of credit. We vote for three, the most important for you, the most important factor. You vote for three, not two, this time around. Let us go and vote. The most important for you, three, the most important. For example, safety is very everybody has voted. Among the financial factors to consider when choosing a lender, which one is the most important?
Security.
Which one is the most important?
Security.
Security. Security is the factor that is highly important. Number two,
Safety.
number two, no commercial please raise your hand. From our voting factors to consider when choosing a lender, which one is the second most voted characteristic or fact? Yes.
Repayment period.
Whereas the payment period, this one,
Yes.
payment period. That one, from our table that we have today, which one is that most important? the most voted factors are security, repayment period, and safety. Security, repayment period, and we are going to look at compare providers and choose the ideal provider. Now that we have the most three voted and four most important characteristics to consider, the fourth characteristic here is grace. Among these two, which is higher voted? Amount. Now that we have three most providers: bank, digital wallet, and SACCO. And we have the four most voted characteristics: security, repayment period, safety, amount to be borrowed, amount to borrow. Among these three source of providers, which has the greatest advantage comparing security, repayment period, safety, amount to borrow, in terms of all these four. Among these source of providers, which has the greatest advantage, according to you now? Yes? Bank. We agree with that. Bank has the greatest advantage. Why bank? Yes? Bank has a very strong security. Repayment period. What about repayment period? If it is bank, repayment period, the bank compared to digital wallet and SACCO. Which offers more advantage? Bank. In terms of safety, security, repayment period, do they give high repayment period or short repayment period? Longer repayment period or short repayment period? Bank. Yeah. When banks have given you a loan, will they give short period or repayment period or long, depending with your amount of loan? They will give you short or long. That depends on the amount of loan for depends with your agreement. For a long amount, which of the three providers offer more advantage? That is bank. The greatest advantage will be obtained when bank, although they need as a financial consumer to check whether comply with their requirement. For bank, what are the requirements? My requirements for bank is ID, KRA PIN, security. What about SACCO? Guarantor. Banks also need guarantor, or they don't need a guarantor. You need a guarantor because you need security. What about BY? You can easily obtain a loan from digital wallet. Yes? Savings? What about savings? Or they don't determine your savings, but they give you, again, small amount of money. And payment sequentially period. We have seen that bank has, according to the security, bank is the one with highest security. No. What about repayment period? Is it bank, digital, SACCO? Why bank? Between SACCO and bank, which gives you loan repayment period. SACCO gives you loan repayment period. Although they charge high interest, but according to the repayment period, this SACCO. What about safety? Safety? Banks. They are more secure. What about amount to borrow? Banks give you high amount of money. What conclusion do we get from this voting? We have seen that bank has high advantage. The most preferred is bank. Why? Because it has high security. In terms of safety, it is also good. In terms of also amount to borrow, they give large amount of some amount of money. They can give you large amount of money compared to digital wallet or others. Our Nigeria, the room. I can see people want to sleep. There is an ideal provider to meet all the characteristics. Have you seen that there is an ideal provider that meets all the characteristics? For example, bank does it meet all the characteristics? No. Therefore, there is no ideal provider that meets all the characteristics. There must be. They can meet some. If they meet some characteristics, there are others that they cannot meet. Therefore, there is no ideal provider that meets all the characteristics we are looking for. We must choose the most important characteristic for us. The most important we choose between the most appropriate, whether support to toilet or bank, depending with your needs or depending with your project or the goal that you want to accomplish. For example, if you want to accomplish a long-term goal that needs huge amount of money, you go to bank. But if you don't have an income, unstable income that you can pay your money within a short period, you borrow from such a source that gives you a long-term period, a long period of repayment period. In the smaller amount. A point to stress, you must prioritize what is best for you and also consider what you can access. What is within your limit. You borrow a loan that is within your limit. You cannot borrow a loan that you cannot be able to pay back. Some providers specialize only in certain type of loan. For example, consumer loan. Make sure to find the right provider you need. You find the right provider, whether bank, digital wallet, or SACCO, depending on your needs. Avoid at all costs financing your business with consumer loans. Avoid, given that most times these are not designated for the purpose. Now I want you to look at the list. This is the question that one needs to ask a lender before you go and lend or you go and borrow money from a lender. There is some question that you need to ask yourself. Now we are able to distinguish the best source of credit. We have voted and we have seen the best source of credit. Service provider, the greatest or the most aggressive advantage source of credit. Among those, what question do you ask yourself before you go, for example, to get a loan from a bank? What are the questions that you need to ask yourself? Let us divide ourselves into 5 groups and start that question. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You understand group? 1, 2, 3. Or we start in a group of 5 in 3 participants. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. You can discuss those questions. This is the question that you need to ask yourself before you go to the next question to ask a quotation later. 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 Question that you need to ask a quotation later.
Do you offer small interest? Ada toko di bank itu kan kamu bawa. Kamu bawa siapa biasa naik tadi kan karena ini dah.
Saya mati boleh bawa itu mati.
Ya baru nang betul janji biasa ini interest.
Ada yang apa rampuri ada orang question.
Ask if they change the high interest, high loan interest. The loan period of time, loan period. Thank you, I'll buy you. What do you discuss? Teoria ambayo kutaka kutibasi interest. Teoria kutaka banki au kutibasi ngiri interest kan. Teoria ni ini. Teoria ni apa tu? Time is up.
Time is up. Time is up. Are you done? One, two, three, four. Which group is ready? Yeah, that was good, yes. Who can read for us? Volunteer to read for us. Stand up, please. There go.
You ask the administrative fee. Fee. Interest.
Interest rate charge.
Payment period. Customer service.
Customer service.
Documentation required. That is the document required. If it is a digital wallet, for example, your phone you can look for credit limit. Check your credit limit.
Does it charge any credit limit? Yes. Thank you. Let us clap for group. Group power, group 3. Another group 2. Are you ready?
Payment period. Equipment required for the qualification. duration, consequences, interest, mode of payment, and amount to be paid.
Let us come for group B.
If there is any insurance,
If there is any insurance,
the payment period,
the repayment period,
the security, and the grace period, possible penalties, and the annual percentage rate.
annual percentage rate. That's right. Annual percentage rate. Now, group 1. Group 4 finally. Payment period.
Loan interest.
Amount of interest to be paid.
Period.
Grace period.
Requirement na njia ilike ya approval. Funding.
Approval and
Funding.
approval and funding. Let us clap for group 4. Thank you. Now, all of you now. Do I have to provide guarantees to be guaranteed alone? There are some banks or some financial institutions requires you to have a guarantee or a grant for you to get a loan. How long does it take to be granted? How many times we have to come here to finalize? Do you check if I have other loans with other institutions? There are some financial institutions that cannot give you a loan when you have another loan. You need to service the first loan before that you get the second loan. For example, you don't go and get a loan from cooperative bank after you have failed to pay or you defaulted from cooperative bank. You go and request the equity for you to pay the other loan from cooperative bank. That one cannot be allowed. How long are these meetings? How long does it take for you to get a loan? For example, loan from Women Enterprise Fund. How does it? What are the turnaround time? Turnaround time for loan from Women Enterprise Fund is 30 days, for example. You ask yourself also that the turnaround time. How far away is the office where I need to make the payment from my place of residence or visit? For example, the process of repaying the loan. There are others you can pay through your phone. For example, PayBill will be given a PayBill to make a payment like Women Enterprise Fund. Our loan will be paid digitally. You will just deposit your money in your M-Pesa and pay from directly to the e-Citizen account. That is government fund. You pay to the e-Citizen account from where you sit. But in another institution, you need to go to the institution to pay the loan. You need to ask yourself that question. Are you product also applicable for small business? Are those products applicable for small business? What are the most important lessons that you have learned in this session? Most important? Yeah, factors to consider when choosing a education lender. Another question? Getting best source of best source of credit, I think best source of lender. You have seen it is bank and you have got it and you have seen it is bank. Another one? Yeah, credit cards and information, that's what we have started with. Now what to do? Key messages. Can someone read for us key messages? Ross. Read for us key messages.
Key messages. To use credit products successfully, you need to understand when the credit terminology. 2. The borrower is responsible for repaying the loan according to the payment schedule. Taking out a loan is a serious matter. Don't take it lightly. The rich man is the one who pays his debt. 5. To choose a loan and a lender wisely, you first need to know what products are available and who the lenders are. By gathering as much as possible with that information, you will be able to choose the product best suited to your needs. Number 6. Which lender you choose will depend on the nature of your project. In other words, the goal you wish to achieve by taking out a loan.
Thank you. Power to have. Any question? We have come to the end of our session. Any question on our session? Yes, Kevin. Any question? Yes. Yeah, microfinance and same. Microfinance, example of microfinance. Any other question? Thank you. If we don't have any question, any other question, that is the end of our session. Thanks.